Hey there YouTube, Phantasma Knight. We'll be continuing Disco Elysium today. We had just gotten finished interrogating, question mark, Ruby as she blasted us with lethal amount of radio waves. Lethal amount of radio waves with some really flashy light show effects. Huh. Harry actually put away his flashlight to do something with his shoulder. Since last episode, I organized my inventory a little bit. It turns out that I'm actually running low in space. I have 5 spaces left for clothing. I also filled out a spreadsheet, so I shouldn't waste as much time on searching for bonuses to equip. Anyway, what do we have left to do? Okay, so apparently it didn't come from the rooftop unless it was like super silenced. Which means we gotta check the island, but I don't know how to get there. And that would have helped with that conversation. Still haven't found the mirror weapon. This, we could talk to, Sona. You found Ruby's journey? Oh, right. Is there anything else in this tent? I don't remember.
The plain red tent. It was pitched by practiced hands.
Okay, don't think there's anything else in here, so let's read the journal. I'm just... Okay. I've reread this before. The reason why I was marked as unread was because I died and had to restart. Anyway, a well-loved journal with a brown leather cover and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveler. Then why did she leave it behind? Probably because she had to book it, and she was actually nice enough to not want to murder these 2 cops, even though she thinks one of them is like mega corrupt.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Uh-huh. Does it actually create that much damage to the cover, just carrying around your pocket? I never like carrying stuff in the back pocket. I'm assuming back pocket of the pants because I tend to sit on that. Same thing if there was something on the back. Like, I'd remove a backpack first, but actually have like a book on my back as I sit back against a chair, that'd be uncomfortable. Same with the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers.
Engineers, huh?
She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Alright, what's in it?
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
What kind of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
You know, I remember during the whole getting blasted by those radio waves thing, he was all like F me, Y me, and so on, after he heard that Harry was apparently an agent for a drug cartel. And he just went back to the swing of things, just like that. What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
Hmm. How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
That's right, isn't it? In a gang, you don't leave the gang, you get beat out. In a drug cartel? Ooh boy. Okay, did she write anything about the day Laylee died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
I'm gonna try that game with a logic boost. But let's go through all this first.
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell.
What? La Puta Madre?
Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Okay, let's read the one from March 9th first.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head. While I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break, well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder.
Hmm.
Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why?
Why reaction speed? Why are you assuming that M caught her? I mean, the fact that you're saying means you're probably right, but you didn't get tipped off from one of your allies? You got warned by the guy who hates you? Really? Okay, well, let's read the entry from March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me.
You know, as pissing annoying as the Hardy Boys are, I don't blame them for ratting her out because she was being suspicious. Primarily, it's the fact that she disappeared. Well, okay, there was also the fact that there was the misconception that she came up with the plan, even though it's Claudier who did, according to her at least, according to Ruby. But everyone else was like, man, she came up with this plan to fake fake a hanging real fast, and she booked it uh, as soon as it was done. Or well, as soon as Harry came in, they didn't explain what the deal was with Harry. They just said that he was a human can opener. Which I guess implies that he's going to like physically do some damage. I think human can opener sounds like a really harsh way to imply that someone's just really good at interrogating or getting information out of someone else. But it still would have fit. It was a bit much, and it didn't really occur to me how over the top it was until we found out that Harry could have been an agent. Uh, but if M called her personally, then maybe he's not M's peon, and they just want to make it seem like he was. But yeah, she wasn't upfront with them. They were all like, she didn't have a gun, and that part that part wasn't leading to any betrayals. But we know that she does have a gun, and she's like, she was all like, "You think I'm gonna rat out my supplier to you?" So yeah. Hmm.
Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic.
Criminal scum. Of course, if you threaten people, they're gonna do something about it. Yes, you might scare them for a while, but you don't deserve to feel betrayed if they decide to do something about it in the end. I don't even know this person, and I'm already getting annoyed, dang.
The entry ends abruptly.
I had another thought, but then I lost it immediately. Hmm. Oh, yes, so, even if the whole thing about the gun, like, the way it turned out was, we we explained how she could have gotten a gun, but, if we had found the bullet where she stayed, yeah, that would have been incriminating. It would make it feel like she lied to them some more. What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
Hmm.
It looks like she might have been framed.
Yeah.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting? He thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
Kim, am I really a La Putra Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Yeah, like the people who are supposedly his partners. If she didn't do it, then maybe it's good we didn't catch her. I mean, it kind of sucks, but
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her.
frowns.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than with us. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
So, who do you think killed the Merc? Because so far our only suspect is back to Claudier, who just suspiciously had a plan. And I don't know what the science gun technology is like in this world. Yeah,
Could have been Titus. Then again,
but no one heard the shot. Why? Why is it even a choice?
maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. Let's be careful, though. The tip she gave us about the tribunal was disturbing.
You know, as the not so nice person I am, the idea that we might come back and find the Hardy Boys all gunned down by a few psychopaths on the loose is actually not causing me that much concern. I'm concerned about the psychopaths with the guns, yes, but the Hardy Boys being gunned down, I think there's a part of me that might be, shall we say, pleased? A little bad, I know. Okay, let me check that spreadsheet I made, real quickly figure out what we're going to get. Um, okay, sorry, I'm still getting used to this. Okay, sort A to Z. Logic. Lots of things give me logic. Let's see. The flip up glasses. Cool. The this thing we already have, right? Wait, no, this isn't the thing. Oh, it's the hat. It's a found hat. And I should check if the stuff I'm wearing already gives logic. Okay, that should be good. And let me make sure that I'm not wearing anything that reduces logic. Yep, I think I'm good. It's still taking a few moments, but I think it is overall a
The
little
thick
faster.
journal, bound in brown leather, is full of candor and
Flip the page. Well, I mean, it's faster in terms of like what's going on stream, but man, I wasted a little bit of time typing that down. Anyway, let's see.
nothing on my... She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
She's loyal to a fault, except against that guy.
The thick journal.
Put the journal away. Okay, nothing big, nothing big. Let's put a hat back on. Put this thing back on, and let's see which scarf. Inland Empire and Volition, yeah. Oh, we were wearing this before the pain threshold. Okay, got it. Okay.
The precarious world.
Hmm. Are you gonna read this or am I?
How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures. Pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
Turn to salt. Well, I have been known to be pretty salty about things. Hey, Madaro, welcome. What is that? I don't know if that phrase looks familiar to me. We have a lot of surreal images for these. These thoughts are pretty cool. I'm never gonna see them again. I'm never gonna remember them, but they are pretty cool. Someone definitely put a lot of work into making these. Critical success and failure thresholds lower by 1. What? What does this mean? So does that mean that you can't auto fail? And does that mean that you could succeed on 11, not just a 12? That'd be nuts. Lots of stuff happening. Lots of crazy stuff happening every nook and cranny of the painting. It kind of sounds like abstract art, except abstract art is usually not this filled up. I want to say this is like, I don't remember too well. There was this word, baroque, or baroque. I don't remember how to pronounce it. There was a game with that title, but I think I took a class where it said like baroque music, or I don't remember if it was music or the word itself referred to like stuff that had a lot of stuff like filled in. Like not just filler, just like a lot of stuff crammed into it. And that kind of reminds me of that, just like looking at this kind of art style and looking at your description. Let's see. You know, I'm just gonna have to pay attention next time I see a check. For now, let's get out of here, and who do we talk to next? Right. Call your station to find out more, if you dare. Yeah. Let's, Amusing. Did we check these out? I can't remember. I want to say we did. Oh, yes, money. Oh, I think I grabbed those, and then the game auto-saved, but I don't think I grabbed them before of course I didn't grab them before I save, otherwise I would already have them. Thought we were gonna have a whole conversation with Kim, but he was just like, no, I don't think you're one of those guys' agents. But you should just, if you really want to find out, talk to someone from your station. I'm like, I'm not sure why the game's telling me to call my station, though. We have a couple of people from my station chilling out right there who might be my backup. Thing is, they seem aware that I don't remember anything. Why does it keep going back to the hangman? Why? Stop. There's a green icon there again. Was there always a green icon? Hey, wait, can we click on this again?
A few locusts trod poor things.
Oh, yeah. The phasmid is, dead. Non-existent. Can't be dead if it's just non-existent, right? This is probably nothing. There's absolutely no way in through this door. Man, if you said that in an actual tabletop game, some of the players would be like, okay, how do we get in then?
The trap is fit, poor thing.
Others would be like, okay, the GM says that we can't get in. Either that means, one, we really can't get in, or two, he doesn't want us to get in for one reason or another. And since he's GM, that means we can't get in. But some people will be like, that sounds like a challenge. don't know where I am. It's dark. Oh, here's my room, and we don't have anything new, do we?
The old woman. The buzzer. There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
Oh, I wonder we would have heard humming if I had waited a bit. You still up?
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
I suppose when you constantly have a form of shut-eye.
My suggestion is don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough. What's troubling your mind?
What is that song you're humming?
A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song.
Called?
Surrender to the night.
She replies, slowly rocking back and forth.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
No, children's tales are freakishly grim if you actually look too closely at them. Like, some of them seem alright, and then you see stuff like, I don't know, Disney movie where the priest during the wedding scene has a boner or something like that. That's something I heard, and maybe that was a little abrupt and out of nowhere, and I think I remember which movie it is. But I didn't actually see that movie, and some people call blasphemy if I say that. But, yeah. Anyway, let's just pretend it sounds nice, because I didn't actually hear it.
Yes, it does.
Goodbye, I'm off. Kim, go to sleep. I have a bench to sit on.
I'm afraid we don't have time for rest stops right now, officer. We should really get back to the whirling.
But it's midnight. Oh, right. You're staying at the Whirling. So if I were to just sleep and you go back there, you would just casually go back there and walk right past all the people we need to talk to and go to sleep. Okay, a little awkward. I missed my fast travel point, so I guess we're just gonna walk back. What was that green thing? Oh, it's that stupid shed again that I have no idea if it's any relevant to anything. I must still click on the trap.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid. Poor things.
But they same poor thing. Unlike locusts, let them die. Ahead, decades-old concrete defenses. Children play on them now. You've been defeated, age-old fortifications. You are now the plaything of children's. Did I really just say children's? I did, didn't
Stop. Now, it is time.
I? For the tribunal?
Yes. And it's not going to be fun.
What am I supposed to do?
Arm yourself with anything you can, unless you have nothing. Because you didn't find your lost gun, then just walk to your death. I can talk you out of it, whatever it is. You're too likable to die. Don't worry.
Okay. Let's get some rhetoric and suggestion. I'm not sure I feel ready for what lies ahead.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
This is gonna suck! Scroll between the thighs of a page 3 girl. I cannot read that. Of course the pawn shop's locked. I'm not liking this one bit. Okay, keep the armor on. Keep the armor on. We never did find the helmet, huh? I forgot. Did they ever talk about the helmet? They probably did. Wait, I'm pretty sure it ended up in the hands of some gangsters. Kuno tried it on and like checked in the water or some crap. Or said he did, but then I think someone else got a hold of it? Someone self-jamrock? I don't know. Let's not think too hard about it. Conceptualization, right. Okay, go back. No, not conceptualization. That was the first one that made the check. I'm gonna go back to my spreadsheet and look for what gives me rhetoric. The white polo shirt. That's it. and it reduces empathy. Oh boy. And I can't put it on because I need this, which already reduces empathy. Oh boy. What was the other skill that was talking? Well, I don't know. We have some pain threshold here. Should be good. I don't know. Pain threshold does sound like it would be useful, but I already have 2 of the things that give it. And the last one would replace my scarf. Oh boy. This is gonna suck. This is really gonna suck. I have hand-eye coordination, but we only have 1 gun between the 2 of us. And reaction speed would probably help for that too. Jeez, this is gonna suck. Yeah, only 4 in this. 2 in physical instrument. I'm sure physical instrument would be useful if we were to bash someone's head in. But I don't even know that's an option. And I'm kind of scared to put a point into this. It probably might be an option. Probably might be. You know. Let's just heal up just to be sure. Used a lot of meds,
I'm
but...
out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning. Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
You're just saying this because they got a bigger gun than you.
Shut up. You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
That's a woman, isn't it? I wonder if this is someone we've met before. Titus was cool talking crap when he had lots of guns, but now that he's facing people in like 9 Pentrol armor and automatic weapons, yeah, they have the high-tech armor on them. Look at them. White plates. They don't have helmets though. Go for the head, I guess.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
Kim, what's going on here?
Shh. This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
Nothing irreversible has happened yet. Says the group of people who try to take credit for murdering a... Okay, maybe not murdering. Lynching and hanging up their buddy for a week straight. Oh boy.
The Kipt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
Her voice does not sound emotionless to me. And I don't think we met her before. Thing is, there's supposed to be a 3rd person, right? Ruby was saying something about how they had backup coming, but I don't remember any details.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Lizzie, you're pissing me off more with every sentence you say. Your boys were perfectly content with gunning down 2 policemen in the middle of a frigging motel. In broad daylight.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas? Peaceful.
Where is this 3rd figure? This looks epic. It's like a scarecrow with a cowboy hat, except it's all made of white steel. White and black steel? I don't see this figure. Oh my god, this looks... that looks awesome.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
upper left. Oh, he is! Oh, my chat window is covering him. My chat window is over on this left side here for this game. That's the most convenient spot. Let me just move in the corner, covering up my characters' faces, but then I won't be able to see when you talk. Well, maybe that's why I should have my second monitor ready. Anyway.
Fuck, she was right. That must be the third mercenary.
And he looks awesome.
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them all. Heavily armed. The lieutenant
he does
is
look pretty
genuinely
crazy.
worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
We're out of time. This is...
The mercenary tribunal.
What do we do?
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
Big one's a mercenary at the gates. We knew this, of course.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
Wait, why him? Well, I guess the scary guy has a helmet on.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
Let's walk away for now. No, we can't. Oh my god, we don't have a gun. Stop! This is the police! Oh, why do I have my flashlight out still?
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
No, so it's having extra suggestion might have helped, which I would have gotten if I had put my flashlight down and had bare hands. Licks his lips, waving his gun at the crowd. Losing his balance for a moment, he staggers backward. Wait, is he actually drunk?
Pig, fuck!
Is the only word you can make out. I can see you're drunk. This is really the best thing to see. Easy now, no one needs to die here today.
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
Yes, and you left him there for a solid week. Also, you're the kind of people that would... Oh, that story still disgusts me about the guy who cut the, off that lady and ate them.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
Lizzie, shut up. You're the least civilized person here.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. You really, really should have a gun in your hand by now. Or something dangerous. This feels scary.
I don't have my crowbar.
No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around.
We have some meds. What would I do with a crowbar? Bash their heads in? Pry their armor off?
Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that. Please.
Down well. Was that... I don't know. Oh, we know the... Wait. That last name, I thought this was, this dude's last name. Was that also, Laylee's name? I can't remember. Oh, we have a lot, but... Oh, god dang it! Suggestion! Ugh. Suggestion was a thing, and I effed it up. You brought back up from out of town.
Oh, yeah. That's Rude. Rude, the killer, Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
The killer?
The gunner. The raddest. The killer.
So, this guy's the gunner, the raddest. What the heck is a raddest?
What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Cloven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21.
Count the figures.
About 50 little stick figures, all of them black, plus 2 little white ones in the end. These men served in Seminai, the native islanders.
Black and 2 white ones. Huh. Is this really a thing? Midoro, I do have an ancient rifle, but it's broken. We just took it along for looks. And I don't think I can even equip it. Really wish I didn't have my flashlight equipped right now, though. Let's poke at the racism, because that's what this game does.
That's right. Plenty of kits here in Revachol, too.
T, let's fucking do it.
The man presses through his teeth, his hands on his belt. Listen, they didn't do it.
Yeah? Who did?
Someone else, someone who's not here right now. It could be Claudier. I don't think it was Titus. I don't think it was Ruby. It could have been Claudier. I don't know. We would say it was me. It's just gonna gun down.
How fucking convenient.
Gives you a drunken stare, then puts his hand on the gun. Yeah.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
It was shot from a great distance. A sniper did it.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now, huh?
I only have one pal, but I'd rather you not single him out. Please, if you have to gun someone down, gun everyone else.
How about the kid? Tell me. Magic fucking sniper. One more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who...
Lizzie. Am I really just pouring all my points in? Here, now? Klingo said that the game FC already had a point in the mirror conversation. I seem to recall doing this before, but oh, please don't fail me now. Why doesn't he believe me?
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said, we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
Listen, he was shot. He wasn't hanged. Listen to me.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
He doesn't move the weapon.
A Kiel Model 40 revolver, 8 rounds in the barrel. The gun slowly sways in his hand from the inebriation.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
When they confessed, they were lying. Don't call it a cover up because then they'll get gunned. I kind of want them to get gunned down. Like, they don't have a lot of incentive to save them. Other than that, it would ruin everything else around here. The problem isn't them. The problem is that they're just the fuse. And the powder keg is the whole goddamn city, or at least this district. Garner isn't one of them. She's the dumbest of them all.
Fucking liars.
Pulls the trigger. Plume of smoke erupts from the muzzle of his gun, and I flinch in real life.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something.
You know, in real life, I think the moment a gunshot goes off, everyone else just starts shooting. Especially if they're armed and super tense. Isn't this how the... Actually, I don't remember anything about the Boston Massacre in history. But let's keep going.
The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
He looks at his revolver and smiles. Oh yeah, even drunk, he's definitely got enough to kill them all.
Not true. He purposefully over-aimed and shot the window. You had him second-guessing himself, only for a second. Do not assume he will miss the next time.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
And this is why I think the Hardy Boys are effing dumb. They're all ridiculous idiots.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shock.
Where's Claudia? She can explain this.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
She left!
Guard is here, god dang.
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
Ew, he came up because he heard gunshots. What do you mean she left?
She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second. Then the fear takes over and he's back in the moment.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
This sucks, this sucks, this freaking sucks. I don't think this is a good thing to do, but let's try it.
Yes. So what?
Nothing, it's okay. I don't like the way this is phrased. Judgment's impaired, you regret this.
Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking government-ordained super soldier.
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking chat!
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
What is with this? How big is this unit? Lately was a colonel and this is a lance corporal? That's almost as low as you would get on the totem pole. Got them arguing. Ooh. Wild Pines rep does not approve this!
You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
Wild Pine's not gonna forgive you for massacring a bunch of innocent people.
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes, a bull ready to charge. He's not listening, but looking for an opening. Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted.
We're working together. She knew you're out of control. She told me.
She's gone, you stupid fuck! Sailed off 5 minutes ago. She doesn't give a shit about you, Silos.
Stay cool! Don't do anything stupid!
Shouts to his man.
The company bitch is gone. Laylee's cunt is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
He looks around, tired suddenly, sad even.
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
Of course, Shanky. I think he was one of the ones I disliked the most in this group.
They're huddled close in a formation. Still, the rest will stay. Even if it means dying here with him.
Rhetoric. Please, buddy. Bidoro, what do you think? Should I put another point in? Let's go then.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, I
This
wasn't
is
planning
an
to reload.
illegal
I was planning to
trade.
commit.
Granell would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
So, rhetoric. Just a question. Who's in charge of your unit after the death of your colonel?
I am a Grinnell Major with over 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation strike.
So you are the highest ranking of the three of you.
Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
He raps on his armored barrel-like chest.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun. But we're beyond that now.
Hold on, what's the highest rank? Why am I asking this? Do they have generals? Are they big enough for that? So leave this group, reconsider your actions. This does not have to end in bloodshed.
You're right. But you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
You know, I am actually right there with you.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something.
Shut. I actually just swore. I was just thinking it, but I didn't think I'd actually swear out loud. Where's suggestion? Why do I keep losing it? Oh my god. I can't change any of my equipment. Come on!
Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Okay. Who are you? A major?
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
You know, this game, they have knowledge about all kinds of things, especially about the chemical part, but I'm just gonna say right now, there is a massive effing difference between a major and a sergeant major. The biggest part is a sergeant major is an enlisted rank, meaning that even though they've been in for a freaking long time, even though they're really high up in terms of pay grade, even though everyone else is respectful or scared of them, they still have to salute the fresh lieutenant who just came out of officer school. A major is a few ranks up from that. So, military ranks are a little different from country to country, and even from branch of service to branch of service. But I believe, you know, sergeant major is like up there, and like E9 is like as high as you can go. In terms of officers, it starts with second lieutenant, then first lieutenant, captain, and then major. So, 04. I know there's a lot more ranks above that, but still, a major is... We're talking like company commander level here. Although sergeant majors don't just fiddle around with like a single platoon or anything like that either. They're pretty high up there. They're still enlisted.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click. Softly, click, click, click. The realization comes to you, like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Cortiner. The dead man's name is Elise Cortiner. He's brothers with the deceased. No, probably foster brothers. Elise was put into a foster home, remember?
And they left him hanging out there for a week. This guy has some amazing self-control.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. We're all sentenced to death by lead.
Benito, 41. That really happened, didn't it?
Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt or 100 of them. Rude here. In your ship pipes, right in the fucking... He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts like that. When he gets bored, Lady knew how to command.
In a proper military, people like that get sent to the firing squad.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
Oh yeah, he would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. But that didn't happen, because Hayseed, Bill, and Kipty the Kipt here
Points to Titus and Eugene.
fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after. And you folks did nothing.
It was 1 week. We got him down. We took the body away. Yes, we were a little slow, and I don't know what was going on with Harry for 3 effing days. But we took care of it. You waited until we took care of it, then you did something about it. Because you didn't do anything about it.
Listen, man. We told you we...
Shut up, Lane.
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck. You'll die first.
Coordinator. I know that name.
He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
Are we gonna get shot? Rao and... They pronounce it Elise. I thought it was Ellis. Coordinator. Sorry about your brother, Rao.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck.
And then went to the same military academy, and the same unit, and the same war.
Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Looks around, then wipes his face with his armor glove.
Okay, good.
People did not say good things about him. And blue eyes, didn't he? Your brother?
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man.
He smiles, pulling his face in a strange way.
It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down clogs.
I probably shouldn't mention the leaf compactor. Your brother did not deserve to go out like that. I promise I will find this killer.
Find his killer. Cop, his killer stands right there, shitting his pants, and you're standing in the way, protecting him.
You know, despite how rude Courtenay is being, I don't hate him. Not one bit. The only thing I'm annoyed about is the fact that he left his brother up there for a week. And that he and his brother condones and the kind of scum that he's been describing and laughing about. Those are my two problems. But in terms of cold, hard professionalism, the fact that he managed to hold on and not do anything for over a solid week, the fact that he managed to keep himself together up until he got drunk, or maybe he got drunk because his backup's here.
I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here. Today.
Big talk, but you got him to admit he's a bad leader. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
I got nothing else? I succeeded all the checks, didn't fail a single one, but I got nothing else? Why did I not find my lost gun?
Watch that loincloth. I can't hear you. Sounds like you got your mouth full of dick. Rude.
Shit, this is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information.
Kill me, you never find out who killed your colonel. I've been withholding information.
Rude. Kill him.
Well.
The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you.
Everyone start running.
Steady, and the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly.
They all have guns, but none of them fired. It said that they were going to stay with the Titus to the end, but they all booked it.
An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you.
Kim, where's Kim?
From the corner of your eye, you see the lieutenant raise his pistol and aim it at Rude. He's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. It's not easy. He has 0.6 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own.
Is this gonna mess up my check? Blink thing.
You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it. His eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens, focusing on you.
We did everything we could. Did I make a mistake with that last choice? I remember there was another choice I was considering, other than saying that I've been withholding information.
0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger.
Wait, is this like a... Is this the thing basically like a shotgun?
God,
or sort of?
you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out.
72%. We got no more stats. Let's go!
A low shot rings. You feel a tapping, like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shot evenly from plate to plate.
Oh god. Thank god I got the armor.
You got hit. The armor took most of it, but still your ribcage burns. Feels like blood is slowly seeping into your lungs.
No, the armor is indestructible. We are not.
God, please.
says quietly without trembling. He aims face pale.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you.
Kim, did he hit the roof-man? Of course he did. Look at that blood. Oh, beautiful.
Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his helmet are not human. An unbelievable shot from the lieutenant.
Who screamed?
Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers.
Geezers, not geysers?
You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest.
Not Titus.
Blank.
Titus
Then
is still
the man
this way.
squeezes the trigger.
Oi. Titus is looking this way and he looks still unarmed. Oh man, I succeeded all those checks and still fudged it up. Critical success and failure threshold is lowered by 1. But it still says 30%. Shouldn't be 8% if the critical success threshold was lowered? Or does critical success means like succeeding by 10 or more or something? Something ridiculous like that. He aims at my chest, huh? Look him die.
A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally bright, shining like stars. Something in the fear must distort him somehow. He is evil, and the end.
They have automatic weapons. He had some kind of like 7-shot in 1 rifle. And here we have Kim with a frigging muzzleloader. Holy crap, good shot, man.
Here it comes. Death.
Yeah, I don't even know I want to try and evade. We have the chest arm. Oh my god, that changes things so much. If we evade, will Kim get hit? Let happen.
You simply blink, then something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll.
Wait, did he shoot us in the crotch?
The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. A distant blur as you recede into it.
Listen, through the darkness and the pain.
The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. It's Titus with a splat like meat. You hear bullets rip into him. His voice, still giving orders, grows fainter. A gurgle.
Touch your lower body.
Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened there. Even clutching to your consciousness takes everything you got.
What parts of me are missing?
Most of what's down there.
Oh god.
It's all gone. Open your eyes now. You have to see what's happening.
What is happening?
Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
All I see is rusty red and a lot of pale white. Pale white.
You're bleeding out.
Out of it, a silhouette appears, crouching over you. You hear a familiar voice filled with urgency and fear. There's a white shadow that smells like apricots. It's always there.
Stay with me.
Feel burning hot tears streaming from your eyes. I don't know what to say here. Which one? It. What said I have a vassal? Do I have a vassal?
Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And a cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone. When suddenly, you sense something behind him, a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die.
The lieutenant trusts you. He really trusts you. Get out of the way, Kim!
No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling on yours in the course of the motion.
Holy crap, Kim had enough time to reload.
You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone. And so is Kim. And the whole world.
Fall into total darkness and try to pick ourselves up from it again.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
Not yet. Let me back into the fight.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door.
Only you let me smack someone with it.
He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved.
You tell him, the Volition. Man, you're like the one guy who was always on my side.
There was a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon we will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally, we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
You know, I think the ancient reptilian brain is the part of your brain that just handles, like, primal instincts like eat, sleep. So rather than saying it's compromised, it's more like he's doing his job. Is just he doesn't really care about solving the case. You know, he's just like, go back to sleep. The world sucks.
The engine of a caprice Kanema.
Oh, please don't let me bleed out over Kim's car. That would suck.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
Yes, but we need to solve the case first, then we can die. You can't die midway through, you have to die at the end of a case. Or between cases, rather. Before you accept a new one.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Hey there, Kim.
Sunrise, Parabellum.
Parabellum, I thought was the Latin phrase that means prepare for war. It's, I believe the common 9mm round is known as the 9mm Parabellum, which came from a phrase in Latin that means, if you desire peace, you must prepare for war. Okay. The lieutenant's in the middle of a freshly cleaned room with the fan above his head like a halo. His face is covered in bruises. Wait, what piss jacket? Ouch. The room. It's clean. What the
Mr.
hell?
Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day.
How long have I been out?
2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water.
Ouch.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Fair enough.
Dramamine. Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
What, we didn't need surgery? Wasn't our brain telling us that most of what's down there was missing? Man, I half expect to be in like a wheelchair or have some supernatural BS happen. What piss jacket? You took it off?
Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
Wait, what piss jacket are we talking about?
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
Is this a different jacket from before? What happened?
What happened? We tried to take the diplomatic route and hoped they wouldn't attack first. They did. The major gave the command.
And then?
As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He hit the cuirass. I heard it go off. I was looking for a clear line of sight to him.
With how badly that went, I'm thinking that I wouldn't die right there, but I honestly wonder what would happen if I didn't have the cuirass. And yeah, he looks the same to me as well.
He sounds a tiny bit sorry he did not find it before you got hit.
I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
Wait, so Glenn didn't book it like everyone else? Or did he get hit while trying to run away?
This is not the first person to die in his place. He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left.
Fucking Elaine. The young musician. Is that Shanky, the guy who booked it? Angus charged? I thought they ran away. They charged at them? Dang. Theo seemed like a decent guy, if a bit rough around the edges. Angus seemed like he was getting bullied a little bit, but seemed like an alright guy as well. Jeez.
Yes.
Alright, Titus is dead then.
You were bleeding out. I think you said something about your wife, and you warned me. I was able to disarm the Major before he got a jump on me.
Thank you, although...
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened.
Lieutenant took a cigarette from his coat pocket and lit it. A bitter smell fills the room. And the Major.
He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured.
Huh.
We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage.
Good. How many casualties on the Union side, though? Total.
4. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Titus.
Yeah, we know Titus is dead. Let's not click that. Okay, and that's...
Old.
I don't see how it could have gone any better.
Let's face it, officer. It could have gone a little better. You could have been armed. It was my mistake too. I should have attacked.
Oh, that's true. I was completely helpless there.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet.
Wait, so I'm wondering, did Kim actually snatch snatch the Major's gun and shoot him with it? That would have been amazing.
And we are still alive. Both of us.
Yeah.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
What did you say? Sunrise?
Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
I guess it's war today.
The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say.
Looks out the window.
I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
You know, I kind of like that saying now. Sunrise, parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. Get up, prepare for war. Good.
Yes, we have also completely failed, but that's okay.
The world's most laughable centrist. Defend the political center 7 times. I have no idea what I just did to get that achievement, but alright. How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome.
I thought he was pointing at my chest. Did he see me standing there and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot him in the leg instead then?
The bruising in your shoulder is negligible. The armor took the brunt of the fire.
Can I walk?
We will see.
You won't be able to dance much, that's for sure. You should be able to live with limping around, though.
So, no more disco? Has anyone from my station been to see me? Probably not, but...
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean Vicmer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, harbor cranes rise to the sky. Back to that shithole, he says.
Good. I don't need them.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
Odd. You haven't seen any, have you?
I'm sure they're worried about you.
After a pause. If it's not my station, then who treated me?
I did.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's part of a detective's task chain. You can do it too.
Actually, you can. You can even remove a fractured bullet, it seems.
Right. I did, didn't I? You hurt?
Not very. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Stupid of me.
Okay. Time to get up. Immediately take some damage. And then game over because I don't have enough pills to deal with all the damage. I'm kidding.
Easy now.
Okay. The lieutenant turns double again before your eyes. An orange hue of pain.
Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing.
You mean my leg?
How are you?
My disco days are done.
Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Freighter.
What happens now, Kim?
I honestly don't know.
Good, because I totally do. I don't, but I totally do.
Do you? Because we can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. And Joyce has left too.
Uh-huh. She's gone, huh?
Yes, she left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines, or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad.
He looks out the window.
Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classia too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Who did it then, Kim? Who killed the hangman?
I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
There's still a 28% possibility the shot came from distance.
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
Antique bullet from Belle McGray, 4.46 millimeter. How hard can it be to find one? How hard can it be?
It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one. All completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find one that makes the bullet useless.
But that means it's not silenced then, or implies it's not. God dang footprints. The upstairs one. The one with the horizontal lines that aren't rubies.
Yes. God curse the footprints. Not solving the case for us. Au diable.
I don't know what this is about the Maybells or the flowers. All these old bunker weapon cache, but like, does this do anything for us?
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
I should have. I should have. Well, I mean, I really, really, really did not think it was a good idea to take her to Everard and listen to whatever his deal is, because the first thing he did was inflict copious amounts of pain on me. The only person who's done that much pain to me since would be Ruby, because she thought I was out to kill her. She thought that was the whole reason I was in this town. And she let us go in the end. It's a shame that we couldn't have found more of those hideouts and find one of those guns with some working bullets. I would have had a weapon then. Old-fashioned, but still. Breech loader seems like it would be better than whatever his single-shot pistol is. The miracle hasn't happened yet. It's not over yet. I don't know how these two connect, but alright.
He does not know what to reply. Looks out of the window, then back at you. It's morning outside, you think.
You know what I think about solving crimes?
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Solving crimes is hard.
It really is very hard.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
That's right. Let's give up. Time to start drinking. I'm kidding. You're not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
I'm ready. Let's
Good.
limp.
Where do you want to limp to?
The lieutenant did mention doing more ballistics. Also, it's just close enough to endure the walk.
Cliché's room upstairs. Let's go.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
What is this?
Good. You're up. Listen, it's a suspicion, an earth-shattering deduction. Every day.
Not my problem. My brain wants me to take responsibility. I already have that quest. Okay, wow, our objectives are gone. We've been out for a couple days now. Or no, just one day, because that was like Thursday, right? Yeah, that was Thursday night, and then boom. Friday's gone, and now we're on Saturday. Bounce back quick. Let's put away the dang flashlight for now. Jeez, this armor. Wonder what it would have happened without it. I really wonder. Gleaming white enamel. No bottle inside. Look, the door's open. You'll walk right into Kim's room. What? Okay, well, let's check this out first. So your 8 player has been reunited with the right speaker. New placed glass, shining to the morning light. Traffic outside, back into the world again.
The bed's a little nicer now.
No time
Good.
rest.
You're
Nope, nope, it's still the same thing. I was wondering if this was something else, but nope, it's still the same thing. Okay, let's walk into Kim's room. Loot everything! Alarm set for 6:50. Is this still the same thing? A scalpel, antibiotics, jeez.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
Thank you for keeping this thing alive a little longer. Pointing to myself.
It would have been easy were it not for my concussion. We both got lucky, considering the odds we faced. Let's go?
I have set my alarm clock for 6:50, and then I keep pushing it later and later because, yeah, terrible sleep habits.
The bathroom mirror has been...
No! I need the expression back. Give me the expression. No expression? Alright, let's get out then. Wonder how much has changed over these... Wait, hang on. Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay? Fine, let's just limp everywhere. I thought we were going for a jog, though. She's gonna be about 4 months of payments for this room. She's not using it anymore. Can I use it? See the yard below?
The medicine cabinet. Pity.
Not even a toothbrush. She should really clean this out.
Mm-hmm. She certainly had her priorities straight when she was packing.
Close the cabinet. Okay. Red thread made of nylon leads out the room and onto the roof. Through the window, it appears.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
Test the thread with his finger. Drawn taut, it rebounds instantly.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez. B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
Let's look at the island one more time.
1 kilometer away.
Yeah, it was that place I couldn't get to.
Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 8B and 33A. The angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable, but it is a possibility.
Sounds like we have a darn fine sniper here.
Then there's the thread the witness left. She did have a first-hand view of the event. Perhaps she found something in the outer reaches of her memory of it.
Where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof. B triple prime.
Yeah.
The island in the bay.
But we couldn't check it out before. Were we supposed to gain access to Joyce's boat? Is that what was supposed to happen? She's trying to tell us the shot came from the islet.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
Assuming it was just a hole in the glass and not like it took up more chunks of the glass out.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
This is her way of saying she's sorry.
I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference does it make?
None, because this is the only point of origin we haven't ruled out yet.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
You seem unenthusiastic.
I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep these past few days.
Fair enough.
Doesn't really believe this will yield anything.
Maybe we need to get to the island. The wind blows in from the open window. The lieutenant sighs, looking into the cold distance across the water.
The lead is flimsy. You might as well go around Martinez, looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there?
I'm going to the island. Are you in?
Of course. I'm in.
Takes a second to gather himself, then says,
How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop. but she's gone.
Lillian, the net picker. She's tarring her boat.
Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Blink and leave. I wonder what that handkerchief was. The one that flew away the first time. And then we met, Clavier. Was that rubies, I wonder? Thread tied to the antenna. Of course it is. Guard, are you okay? I'm sure they did some damage to your motel there. Gunfight happened right outside.
You clearly see footprints.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are...
No. Hit me for its guard. Guard, you are the killer. You have done everything. And we never suspected you because you were a semi-pushover. Only semi, though. It's quiet. Of course it is.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
I did, thank you. Huge improvement.
You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire.
Dang, guard. Like, I knew you were a pretty decent guy, but I thought, yeah, you were gonna be mad at it, just moaning about how much damage this place took.
Defended may be putting it a bit generously, though. I had a great view of you doing nothing to stop those psychopaths. Then I crawled inside. Bullets started flying. Anyway.
I tried to talk them down to the best of my ability. I just didn't have a gun to shoot them in the face. Because the one guy who could have helped me wanted me to do some really, really shady favors for him.
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify that.
Fair enough. Where did everyone go?
Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business.
What happened to the man with the sunglasses?
I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad.
Okay, so I have to mention, when it happened, you were right out there on the balcony.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. That's because I'm a bad ass.
You say it as two different words like that. It sounds like there's something wrong with your butt.
Yeah, well, fuck you too then. You have any more questions or stylistic pronunciation advice?
He's not too offended. The experience has changed something in him.
Fair enough. Alright, thanks.
No problem. They'll come back. They always do.
Yeah, I mean, you had a dead body hanging outside the back for a week and you didn't do anything about that, and people were still staying here and drinking and,
Hi again, Gendarme.
Composure, right.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
I keep buffing my composure and it keeps amounting to nothing. This guy is still there as ever. Alright, we have someone to talk to.
Seeing you approach, the bruised man clenches his fists.
Oh, it's you. Didn't think we'd see you walking anytime soon. Elaine, look. It's the cowardly cop.
Cowardly?
Huh? What?
Apparently this is what happens if you don't have a gun in a freaking shootout, because the only way that you have to get your gun is from the biggest a-hole around. Like, seriously, I thought Everhart was the big criminal around here. Also, hi Reddits. I just got done getting involved in a shootout where my partner had a single-shot muzzleloader. I had nothing except body armor, and people are making comments about that. I'm being called a cowardly cop. I tried to talk them down. You guys stood there. Some of your buddies ran away. And besides, this whole mess happened because you loudly declared that you lynched their commander and the guy's brother. So I don't think it's my fault that they decided to come with automatic weapons and gun you down. I doubt they're automatic weapons, though. I didn't win exactly. My partner, who was previously proven to be a bad shot because he doesn't trust his eyesight, managed to shoot a guy in the eyes. After he shot me in the bulletproof armor that I got from the lynched colonel. But yeah, he shot the guy right in the visor, despite his bulletproof armor. So I took a bullet. I took another bullet in an unarmored part and went down. Managed to call it in time to protect my buddy from that guy who my partner did some damage to the one of the others. And I'm assuming that the rest of these a-hole Hardy boys, the ones who passed away, probably contributed just enough to the firefight to kill the last person. Because for some reason, 2 of the 3 did not wear helmets with their bulletproof armor. I didn't die, but I really thought I was going to. I really, really thought I was going to. That was probably partially scripted. Alright.
Our condolences for your losses.
He says with a low nod, but the remaining Hardy boys don't seem to register his words. Man, it was messed up because I poured all my skill points into like buffing the stats at the skills I needed to succeed in these checks, and I managed to succeed on all 3 of the checks that I recall doing, and that still wasn't enough. I still don't know if I made the wrong choice or if that shootout was going to happen anyway, and I should have had my gun. But seriously, the guy that I needed to get my gun from was the game even said something like, "This is the only way you're going to get your gun back." The game implied something like that, or maybe it outright said it. I was really, really hoping there was another method, though, because that guy did not seem trustworthy in the slightest. Is he okay?
Does he look like he's okay?
Eugene, you know what? Never mind.
He does not. His unshaven face is almost grey, and he reeks of piss, sweat, and booze.
How badly was he hurt?
He wasn't. That's the thing. Titus, Theo, Dennis, Angie, Elizabeth, they're all gone. But he got away without a scratch.
Dennis. He said Dennis, right? I don't remember who that is. I know there was a Shanky. That guy ran.
There's nothing left. Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't know Liz died either, but you know, good riddance. Holy crap, that lady.
He has lost the will to live.
You know, Liz was almost as bad as Titus, but the thing is, Titus had a few redeeming aspects to him.
It's survivor's guilt. He feels like he should have died with the others. He may kill himself if he doesn't find a new purpose, or else go on in this way. Not dead, but not really living either.
Alright, I guess I'm swearing. Shit is tough, but you need to get off your ass and finish this.
What?
Cornell, Wild Pines, all the people responsible for the death of your friends. You just gonna leave it like that? I guess I could send him after Shanky.
Sons of bitches.
He mumbles something in Mesk. When he sinks down on the table, a malevolent smile spreading across his face.
Was this really the best idea? I guess you may have prolonged his existence a bit, if he can still remember this when he sobers up.
If you think this will keep him from offing himself, I'll make sure to remind him. So far, I've just been pouring whiskey in him to keep him sedated.
What's gonna happen to the Hardy Boys now Titus is dead?
Titus is fucking dead.
What's gonna happen to the Hardy Boys? Look around you, man. This shit is done. There are no more Hardy Boys.
So you're just gonna go back to hauling containers in the harbor?
No, man. I don't know. I guess the Union will still be policing the neighborhood, but who's gonna do it now?
He will. You just need to serve him up, that's all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll see what he does with the whole Shanky business.
Shanky's gonna get shanked. Any idea what happened to Claudier?
Damn songbird of misery, that one.
Yep.
And do you have any information on this songbird of misery?
God said she took off sometime before the firefight. That's all. Trying to remember if there was anything. Oh yeah, he said she seemed to be in a real hurry.
She's gone. Face it.
Yeah, you too. It's a rough world out there. It's not easy being a cop. We were too hard on you. Both of you. We shouldn't have fucked with you like we did. You got between us and a lot of bullets in that fight. Matinees owes you one.
That's kind of you to say. Take care of your friend, okay?
I will. You take care of yours.
A sharp pain shoots up your side and into your stomach. You must not look too good. Luckily, it passes.
Alright, what now? Time to see how effed up the city is. I cannot read French!
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Claudia. It was nice and ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything struck you a bit off about this mishmash?
Let's see. Footprints in the pinball shop didn't fit with Odd Soul's prints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
And the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. Could have come from anywhere in the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Volition? I feel like this should have come up, like, a few days ago in-game. Bullet was jacking. They don't slide around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
Bullet was an antique.
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it?
I don't know the capabilities of these bullets. So far, no one mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
That's the most suspicious thing. It never came up.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Volition, I keep saying this. This would have been useful a few days ago. But guess what? She isn't on that roof right now.
Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
Why am I getting mad at Volition? Because he's saying this too late. Logic is still acting compromised, but she's not there. She's not. Look, it's empty. There's no one there. Why didn't this trigger a few days ago? Why does it trigger now that I can't talk to her?
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
I smell heavy fuel oil. What does it say, though? I can't read this.
And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Oh, amusing.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable?
Should we set it on fire? Oh, I want to do this. I'm not quite sure why it's a choice, but I want to do this. Oh, she's gonna be mad, isn't she? Step back, Lieutenant. Set the graffiti on fire with a lit cigarette.
The fuel oil catches fire immediately.
Whoa.
An ominous hiss.
Whoa!
Bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message.
Say nothing, stare grimly into the flames.
The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters. The flames warmed him too. Not at all in a bad way.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
And the letters are still there. Alright. We're just gonna walk around because of my bad leg, even though I don't know if it'll actually affect anything.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Midoro, you must have missed it, buddy, but I just kind of like said 3 times, I don't understand what it says. Maybe I said it twice, but I really don't. I had no idea how to read French. Let's see. Pull out the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
If Precinct 57, we've been attacked. I repeat, Lieutenant Kim Kisaragi and...
Something is wrong. Only static hisses through the speaker.
Hello.
No reply. Only the mindless drone of static crawling through the air.
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversations and jamming outward communications to protect themselves from Cronel. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. Our best bet is to carry on like nothing happened. That is, if we don't want us cut off the grid completely.
Friggin' Union, still. Should be able to talk to Evar about it, but he's still the same shady, untrustworthy a-hole. Part of me still regrets not getting a gun. Part of me thinks that I made the right choice. Is that dangerous, though?
No more dangerous than stepping between 3 armed mercenaries and 8 Union men, I hope.
Technically, it was 7 Union men and 1 really, really annoying lawyer.
I don't like it either, but that's the way it is. The streets seem safe enough to me. If anything, taking out the mercs made things calmer. For now.
It's weird that the communications are that precise, or the jamming's that precise. Happens when you mention attack, but as you mention attack, it's already been scrambled. Like, you can't just casually talk about, you know, the weather and flowers and suddenly jump into, we've been attacked! No, they just jam it.
You can try calling again. Just don't mention the tribunal. And remember, they are listening in.
Ah.
Everything sounds okay. No drumbeat of total war yet. If anything, everything sounds too okay. In the cabin, you see a...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Since the union's listening in, let's just ask about us being an agent for a crime boss.
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Jules, I've heard that some people think me as a La Puta Madre peon. Do you think I'm corrupted?
10-4, sir. Well, there's been some talk, sir.
Some talk? What does that even mean? Do they think I'm corrupt or not?
I only meant that there's been some talk in the station, that's all. But there's always some talk in the station. You know how officers in Jamrock are. But then again, some of us truly are on the take. It's unfortunate. Over.
Oh, what did we just get? Okay, I need to move my chat window. I can't see squat. Well, I called the station. Got some XP for it. I guess that's something. Listen, I've actually lost my gun too.
10-4, I know I already wrote it in a report, but it will stay on my desk for a few days. Over.
Fair enough.
Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
I don't know if I want to go for my gun now, even though I might need it later. Maybe I'll get another warning, like being told that there are 3 more mercs in town.
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive?
Alive and limping.
Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. Had a strong sense of finality to it.
That would do it if like about 5 people died. 6? 5. 5. 1 ran away.
So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle were behind it all. I'd reckon the case is closed, even if it kind of turned into a shit show.
Still looking around, loose ends to tie up.
Good luck with that, my man. Ain't easy being you, but hey, you're still breathing, right?
Yep. Bye for now. I want to run. I don't want to keep walking. But where do I even go next? Where do I go from here? Get to that
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man?
Right, we have to talk to Lillian.
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where is Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Gone? Gone where? Or gone how and when?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent.
Was killed during the mercenary tribunal?
Oh, he would have liked that. Violent lives ending violently. That's how he wanted to go. Sadly, it was not the case.
How did he die exactly?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
You think our conversation about his job pushed him to go out there?
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on and not think about it.
Do you know what happened to his medals? Should have been buried with him, right?
I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
I offer my sincere condolences.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
No, I'm fine. Bye for now. I feel like there's so many people we could talk to. Or do we just go straight to Lillian? Oh, Kuno probably has some choice words to say about the shootout. You know, I'm just gonna start running. This is taking too long.
Oh my god! Things have gotten out of hand! I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime! It's even worse! I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days!
That doesn't make any
The shop
sense.
has been locked! No sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this ghetto.
It's been less than 2 full days. Heck, I'm not even sure it's been a day and less than a day and a half actually. Because I think it was after midnight, so it would have been Friday morning technically, and right now we're on Saturday. I'm the one who got shot here, ma'am.
Oh my god! Even the police can't take care of all of this. Just look at
You know
that.
what? She's annoying me.
Maybe I should close the bookstore and I could teach people to protect themselves against bad energies. And to
Psychics
fight
too.
crime.
This is even worse than a bookshop in Martinez.
No need to be modest, good officer. In the meantime, do buy the books.
Oh God. It's the Doom commercial district because everyone who comes here is a complete nut job.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Your daughter could probably run this bookstore better than you. See you around the net.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are...
Well, there was... Ah, I wonder if buying the Vero or whatever that game is, the role-playing book, could have given us a bonus on some other checks, like a right to sauna or whatever. Let's check out. But there's not gonna be a boat here. But I guess I want to talk to Cindy real fast. Yep, no boat. It's all gone. Just a blood splatter, huh? Or a paint splatter, or whatever. F it. Let's talk to Kuno. I'm kind of curious what he has to say about this crap, even though he is annoying. Although Pleasant start getting on my nerves. And I'm assuming we can't get back to Everard, because I'm assuming that's the part that got locked down completely. But we can always check.
Everyone says you started crying in the middle of a firefight and then bled like a pig. I guess that was cool.
Okay, I guess this is how you become cool in his eyes. Crying in the firefight and bleeding like a pig. Who's saying that?
People, they say you'd kind of died for a moment, that you let your shit out already, but then came back. So I guess that's what's cool now. Just don't think because you got half your dick shot off and you're an invalid now, Kuno's gonna treat you different. Kuno doesn't reward weakness. It's business as usual with Kuno. Kuno's cold like that.
Feels good for some reason.
Do I want your pants? Nah, nah.
Watch out, pig. It's a dangerous world out there. But Kuno's got his eyes on you.
Oh, that's not good.
Who knows?
Let's talk to the other little psycho. Why not? Kuno's been a little more tolerable ever since we dug a bullet out of her brain.
Pig.
Child, converse with me.
Murder was the case they gave me.
Alright, we're actually gonna go check out to see if we can go talk to Everard, even though I'm not inclined to. In for a penny, in for a pound, right? I mean, that phrase doesn't really have any bearing on this case, but I'm like, okay, I didn't go for my gun up to this point, why am I gonna go for it now? You got any interest, or are you gonna be like, okay, whatever?
Is this about the questions again?
Nope. I went from cop who laughs about shooting myself to everyone, to cop who's asking everyone, and did you see I get shot? Or got shot?
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
Ew. Danger comes with the, I don't know how to do this, boyadero lifestyle, right?
There are types of danger. The one I'm usually concerned with is lung cancer or getting mauled by wildlife, not bullets. It calls back to an older era where this was commonplace, though. You have a true boyadero heart.
Right, so where's everyone?
Hiding, gathering themselves. The harbor's in full lockdown, friend. No getting in or out, for the time being.
Can't help me get inside?
No, man. Not today. Today is war.
He says it matter-of-factly, like it's no big deal.
Eh, what's gonna happen next?
Time will tell. I'll tell Everett to drop by. I'm sure he'll be glad.
Are you sure about that? Everard, I was, you know, even after I got shot now, I'm still convinced Everard was trying to F me over. What will you be doing now?
I'll be okay here, doing lookout. Quite the sight, aren't they? Getting to like that red I am.
You know, I guess one way of looking at it was that Everett was just trying to test our willpower, I guess, by having us sit in that uncomfortable chair, because next time came, he's like, oh, you don't have to sit there anymore. But I still really don't like him.
Don't worry about me. I live to alleviate the worries of our brothers. See if any insane killers turn up. Then I'll run. And live.
I'm sure you do good.
You know it, friend.
Smooths his mustache. Good talking to you. Gotta run. Yep, I don't think I could go through this door anymore. Yep, it's outlined white, which means it's locked. I wonder, can I... Okay, it's not lighting up. Alright, no button there anymore. I wonder if this place will go off lockdown. Because the mega rich light bending guy, there was a red check that I didn't attempt. Because at the time, I automatically would fail all red checks. Okay, let's see, can we teleport? Yes, we can teleport. Lillian, I'm tempted to ask you out on a date.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I guess I am going around telling everyone, I got shot!
Even I can see that. I told you not to bring your trouble with you, policeman. We've got troubles of our own here.
This one was not my fault. Okay, well, I guess it is my fault for trying to help this place out.
Though I suppose you took the worst of it. Turns out you were your own ill omen.
Guess you're right, the men with guns were coming for me after. No, they weren't!
I'm not sure those were the loss of the men with guns either.
Then we'll be ready for them.
I have 2 bullets, but no gun. And only 2 bullets. Kim seems to have at least half a dozen. I can't even get my gun from Everard. Place is locked down.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
Got shot in the foot. It was pretty badass. You would have liked it. What? Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
We shouldn't say this because it was Union folks who are dead. Only one of the Cornell guys died though. Got a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
Right, we need really high suggestion anyway to persuade her. I thought we had a better shot than this. Why is it so low? Suggestion was over here. Why is it so low? Yeah, it was just one of the 3. That's what I was saying. The white armor lady died, but that's it. The leader, the major, he got injured. Didn't specify how exactly. Kim did number to him, and then he was in a private hospital. The guy in the scary Halloween face mask, he got shot in the visor, but I don't think he actually died. Yeah, he got shot there. At least through the visor. I don't know if he actually lost an eye. And he's hurt, but... And I suppose that means that he's worse off than my character is, but, you know, he's still not dead. Instead, we have 6 of the Hardy Boys, if you count... Well, no, 5 if you can count Liz. And you don't? Only 4 of them. Only 4. Only more than half. Including their namesake. We didn't get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Darn, well I guess we can't take the boat then. No drinking on it? No joyriding? What am I supposed to do with this boat then?
Of course, man. It's only for a day or 2. Official police business.
Oh, right. We're doing cop things.
Aye.
Nod long attentively.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
What's on the island? Can you give us a heads up? I don't hear any speech. Alright. Nothing, just ruins. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the Communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself, but who has then if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids? The twins, probably.
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
God forbid they bring the girl? The girl is their older sister. She should be more capable than they are.
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything else I should know before getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Got it. Be seeing you. Them twins, you have anything to say? Plenty. You have anything useful to say?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids. You been to that island, right?
On that island?
The one who's busy kicking a stone points to the bay. Yes, that one. I didn't know you didn't... Excuse me. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great.
But we need to take a boat? Alright.
And we make a fire. We make a fire.
Oh man, they could, barely communicate. With people other than each other, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But they're smart
Gather
too.
the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
They can make fires. They could use a raft. Maybe build a raft. And they know a thing or two about empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
Wait, do you mean bullet shells? Casings?
I don't know what those are.
What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
Oh, there's a fire guy.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy.
Oh,
they
boy.
must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island?
No.
Shaking his head vehemently.
Yes.
His brother looks at him, then
Let's go with yes.
He probably says, don't tell anyone I'm here. Father used to go to the island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself.
Oh gosh.
Don't say that, he didn't.
The boy's eyes wobble, he's about to start
A
crying.
dull pain flashes through your mind.
Say nothing. Say nothing,
I'm sorry.
says the other, rubbing his brother's shoulder affectionately. Why is he the fire guy?
Because
Busted.
he asks to put the fire out.
Uh-huh. Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
The other adds laconically, standing with his hands glued to his side like a little tin soldier.
Because he doesn't want to be found. Smoke traces.
Mentioned something about lights.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
He points to the street lamps.
Yes.
Looks at his toes. Anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live there? They're gonna give me the no yes again, huh?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Well, you guys aren't here sometimes, but you live here, don't you?
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
They say almost in unison. How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Darn kids! Get off my island! Put out that fire! I don't know. I thought he was gonna be wearing like a hood and mask or something. Is that all you know? Is there anything else you can tell me about the island?
There's
Rubbing his eyes. It's clear he has no intention of finishing the sentence.
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Bye kids, take care. Nope, I don't need more story from these guys. It might be interesting, I don't feel like it though. I'm on a boat! Or I'm about to be. Real shame we couldn't have checked it out earlier, but still, 5% chance that could have come from there, but we ruled out other places.
With a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
Shh. I don't know, but
Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts?
Is this gonna be the end?
Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
This could be the end. Is this really the end? Or is this just we're gonna go there, we're gonna come back, and then we're never gonna go back to the island ever again? This quest is still very, very strange, and we haven't found out more about the Pale, so I'm assuming there's gonna be a bit more. I'm assuming that we're not near the end yet. Huh. Alright, let's go. You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox.
What?
What? How else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Okay, let's get in right to the island. I hope I haven't missed anything else, but I don't feel like checking over everything. Maybe we could buy some more dice, more clothes. F it, let's just go. Alright then.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally.
boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence.
They actually had us watch as we took the boat all the way over, moving at what looked like our walking speed. Like the very least, it was slower than our running speed. And the whole time, Harrier Dubois stood up on the boat with the boombox on his shoulder. Wow. I got like 3 good thumbnail images. I don't know if they're actually that good. But let's see if I remember that once I actually upload this episode onto YouTube, huh? I'll probably forget all about it. I'll be clicking through and going, huh, what was a good scene?
In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Climb out. You know, maybe I should have stopped the episode earlier. The episode might run a little long, but I don't feel like I should stop it after getting to a new place like this. Or should I? Maybe I should. Maybe I should save for next time. Where's the chain trails off in the distance, huh?
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot on Land's End.
Ah, yes. So it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
That's gotta be one really, really thick chain. Lock it from whom, though?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. The sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
But, I mean, if they can get close enough with the ships, they could probably bombard you, charge onto the land, and take whatever is controlling the thing. But I guess the fact that they would have to stop before it and shoot at you, I guess it's some kind of defenses. Don't know if it's really that effective, though. Okay, finish thought. You know, I'm just gonna explore around the island, but there might be nothing more in this. I might have to go up there. But I think I'm gonna call it quits for this episode. Let's just check a couple things out. These tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. These are tires? Oh, these are tires. I just saw the big old rock. I see something over there, but I can't get to it. Let's see if I could WASD my way in. Nope, tree's blocking me. Is that a person? No, the door. Attention, inflammable. Some fuse leaks out the barrel. Black, viscous. You know, I hear the reason why a lot of like flammable stuff is labeled flammable these days is because when you put inflammable, some people think it means it can't be ignited. But what it means is it can be inflamed.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
What is that flutter?
The flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter.
On the islet, there is almost no wind. Just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other. Like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work.
To the west.
A silent hiss. Sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains. A bird tending to its feathers.
And ahead.
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. bulrushes motionless.
And below the silence.
A jitter, a sound impatient to happen, but not yet in this world.
Kim?
Yes?
It's pretty silent on this island.
It is. Is that why we are stopping?
Sorry, let's move. It is nice though, especially that music that was playing while we were observing the stuff, and the way that all those descriptions are written. I see ammo. I wonder what that stands for. There's feels like there's some more stuff to check out. No way to get up. The stairs are gone. We don't know which of these buildings the guy's in, but be careful not to fall. The cliff wall looks steep. Alright, this episode's going to be a little shorter than previous ones, but I mean, last episode was extra long. Still, I think this is a good place to stop. I feel like, I don't know how big this island is, but I feel like I'm going to be running around on it for a while. I'm going to be talking to a dude for a while. I feel like it could take a little bit. So yeah, we're going to stop right here for today. Hope you all had fun, and stay safe. Maybe I'll see you around. Until then, goodbye.